Good afternoon to everyone gathered here. My name is Vineetha Mendonca from Bilagas College of the Department Hospitality Science. Welcome to today's session. Today I'm here with an interesting topic that is communication skill. I would consider this to be my one of the favorite topic because communication is something that acts as a superpower to you in if in case of interview or to get placed in somewhere or in a daily life or to have in better communication with the people or have a better understanding within the society or the environment that you live in. Now communication skill allow you to understand and be understood by others. These can include but are not limited to effectively communicating ideas to others, actively listening in conversation, giving and receiving critical feedback in public speaking. Now basically what is communication? Nothing but giving information or exchanging the feeling or exchanging the information from one person to the other person. There's always a sender, there's always a receiver. If I am talking to you, I'll be the sender because I'm sending some information. If at all you are listening to me, you will be the receiver because you are getting the information that I'm trying to send or trying to communicate. For example, if I have to talk to anybody, there must be someone who listen to me. If I alone talk, it never be a communication. It will be just that I give a speech if there's no person to listen to me or hear me. So there's always a sender, there's always a receiver. In between there's a lot of process going to take place or actions that's going to happen if at all the communication need to happen effectively. Now, what is communication skill? I told you what is communication. Now, what is skill? Why it is important? Why building the communication skill is very much important, especially in these days of this modern era. Why the communication will play a vital role in your life? Communication skills are the abilities that you use when giving and receiving different kinds of information. Some examples include communicating new ideas, feelings, or even an update. If you have to update anybody about regarding anything, if you have to give an information, if you have to share your feelings, if you have to give an any idea or just suggestion to everybody, you make sure you have that communication skill. Otherwise, whatever information you're giving, if the receiver is not able to take it, not able to understand it, whatever you have told is completely a waste. So on your project, communication skills involve listening, speaking, observing, and emphasizing. It is also helpful to understand the differences in how to communicate through face to face interactions, phone conversation, and digital communications like email and social media. Now we know that the communication happens in different way. As I said, it can be a phone, it can be a face to face interaction. Me talking, the other person right face to face, right there standing. Maybe a phone conversation. I'll call up a friend or call up anybody and talk regarding anything. It is a phone conversation. Digital communication, maybe a video calling, maybe an email, maybe on fax or anything like that. It's going to be a social media communication. So these are different ways how the communication going to happen or how the communication is happening at today's current world. Now, what is communication process? How does that happen? So, the communication process refers to a series of actions or steps taken in order to successfully communicate. So, communication process is nothing but different steps that we try to take or we are taking in order to make sure we convey the message that we wanted to give to the other person. Now, it involves several components such as sender of the communication. As I told you, there must be a sender. For example, if I'm talking to you, I am the sender here of the communication, the actual message being sent. Now for example, I'm talking about the communication process. That is the information that I'm going to give you, the encoding of the message. Now for me, for you to understand what I am talking, thus my message need to be encoded so that you hear or you get to know the topic or the information that I'm trying to give you. And the receiver and the decoding of the message. Receiver is the person who is listening to me or watching to me right now. Decoding is that as soon as you listen to me, you understand the topic, you think about it in your head, it get you understand the message that I'm giving, and that is called as encoding. I decode some message, you encode that message in order to understand. So there are also various channels of communication to consider within the communication process. Now, we know there's a sender, there's a message, there is a decoding and encoding process, everything we know. But without the channel, a communication is not a successful one. So this refers to the way of message is sent. This can be through various mediums such as voice, audio, video, writing email, fax, or body language. For example, I have something in my mind. Now, with that, I am not using my voice to tell you, not using my typing skills to type and send you, or do nothing. You never understand what is the message that I have in my head. Only that I use some channel and then I send a message. Only then the receiver be able to understand what is the message that I'm trying to give. So, the overall goal of the communication process is to present an individual or party with information and have them understand it. The sender must choose the most appropriate medium in order to communication process to have worked successfully. As I told you, if I don't choose my channel wisely, if I don't use my channel properly, then the communication process never happens, or the communication process is never a complete successful one. So this is the reason we need a sender, we need a message, we need a channel, we need encoding, we need decoding, and we need a receiver. So only then the message or communication process works. I'll tell you more about it. That is, sender is a person that is delivering a message to a recipient. That is, I call you, I am the sender. Consider this example, I am the sender. Message, it refers to the information that is the sender is relaying to the receiver. Now, the topic that I'm handling today. So this is the information I'm trying to give you. Now, what is channel of communication? As I already told you, this is a transmission or a method of delivering the message. Now, my delivering the message is audio and video. You can see me, you can also hear me. So that is my channel right now. Decoding, this is the interpretation of the message. And decoding is performed by the receiver. Decoding, now, the message I send need to be decoded so that you get the point or you get the message. What is it? Receiver. The receiver is a person who is getting and receiving the message. You, the one who look at me, the one who hear at me, you being the receiver here. Feedback. In some instances, the receiver might have feedback or a response for the sender. This starts an interaction. Again, same thing. If at all there is now the sender's message is sent, the receiver got it, the receiver understand, then there must be a reply, there must be a response, there must be a feedback. So in case the sender have to send me, I mean the receiver has to send me the information back, or the respond back, or reply me, or give me the feedback back, again same process is going to happen. So here we need a sender, we need a message, we need a channel, we need a decoding procedure to happen, we need a receiver to receive, and then last a feedback or a respond. Now, these are what we need to communicate. Now, what are the barriers? In the sense, what are the obstacles we face in order to have a very good, better communication or to improve the communication skill? What are the barriers? Now, first one is semantic barrier. This denotes barriers of language and symbols and of the interpretations. Every language consists of symbols used to transmit meaning from one person to the other person. For example, if at all there's a word in English, if I have to say something, it the way I say it might be different, and the way the person understand it might be different. For example, let's take a very simple example of having a chat in the WhatsApp. I might be chatting a person in a WhatsApp very calm way or very single very this way, politely. Maybe the way he reads my, if I have to say, can you call me later, I am telling it very politely, but that person is like, can you call me? As if I am ordering or something. So the way we symbolize, the way we understand from me being sending and him receiving the same message, there might be a lot of differences. The symbols I use, the words I use may be triggering to the other person. So that is called a semantic barrier. Next one is psychological barrier, the psychology of a person. Now, the person might be very angry. I might have told him the joke, but he never laughs at the joke because his mentality right now, he is anger, or he is worried about something. He is having a lot of tensions right now. So my joke will not give any effect to him because he is not in a state of mind where he understands my funny thing now. So that is a psychological barrier, in the sense what psychologically a person is handling over his personality. Next one, organizational barriers. Each organization have their own barriers. Maybe me working as a lecturer in a college, I have my own barriers where it might have a barrier to me to communicate properly. Or the higher authority, I may not have that freedom to talk, or I may not have that kind of what to say, a good amount of speech to be given to the authorities. Maybe that is the one of the barrier when it comes to organizational. Or you being a student, or you need to talk to a lecturer, there might be a barrier because you just cannot talk to a lecturer or the higher authority just like you talk to your friends or anybody. So that is one of the barrier it is to be considered. Next, personal barriers. I told you personal barriers. I might not be fine, I might not be happy today. I may not be in a good mood, but somebody comes and talks me jovial. I will not be entertaining that because my personal or my mentality or my state of being today, it might be different from the state that I'm tomorrow or yesterday or day after tomorrow. So personal barriers also do matter, maybe your health or whatever it might be. Mechanical barriers. What is mechanical barriers? For example, if I have to be a computer lecturer or a computer teacher, I have to make sure I know a lot about the computer. So if I do not know to handle the machine, if I do not know to handle the machine or to teach about the machine or to take care of the machine, so I am not, that might be my communication barrier. So that if I do not know, I will not convey the proper message to the person, I will end up giving them the wrong information. So if I do not have a proper mechanism, I wouldn't be able to perform the task through that machine. So that is one of the example for mechanical barriers. So these are the different barriers that we will get to, or we will go across when we talk about the communication or to improve the communication skill. So this is for today. Thank you so much for today. Have a great day.